What's up, you guys? Welcome back. What's up, you guys? Welcome back. What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video on Beyond Crazy. Okay, all jokes aside, let's get down to the video. Today we're going to be making a Chinese classic. It's going to be beef and broccoli, and we're going to recruit some help. I think the most important thing to start with would probably be marinating the beef, just because it's going to take the longest. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cut open. I just got this from the Asian market right up the road here, Asiana. Fairly inexpensive. This is going to be a piece, pretty good sized piece. It's about a pound. So that's what this recipe is going to call for. I'm going to go ahead and cut against the grain here, slicing all the way down. It's going to give me good sized strips. And then I'm going to take these, and I'll probably cut them this way, cut them in half one time just to make them more manageable. Sweet, so it's going to be velveting. So Kraz went over the other day what velveting is. It's actually a tenderization process that happens with cornstarch. So it's going to be equal parts cornstarch, peanut oil, and soy sauce. The combination of the soy sauce with that acidity as well as the cornstarch, it's gonna really, really break up that meat. It's gonna give it that nice, like tender, juicy consistency. It's gonna be great. So like I said, it's just gonna be 1 tablespoon of each. Awesome. So Mark is going to make our sauce for us.
Mark, I want to see you eyeball half a cup there. Come on.
Oh, actually, I do want to see him try. I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna try to find the half cup right now. We're gonna have Mark eyeball a half a cup. This is gonna be chicken broth. I know it's beef and broccoli, but it's chicken broth. If you guys only have beef broth, you're more than welcome to use it. This is just gonna give it more of like a light consistency because we're gonna be using dark soy. And if you know anything about dark soy, it is super freaking heavy. So let's see this eyeballed half a cup right now.
Alright, so if you use this cheese grater, you can tell that 1 block of cheese is about 60% of this. So
what's the conversion rate to a block of cheese to a half a cup?
16/8. Okay, it's right there.
All right, we have to do this no cut so that people don't think it's fake. Just shy, boys, just shy.
See, if this was a standard cheese grater, I would have been fine.
So this is a Korean cooking wine. I will say that the recipe called for a Chinese cooking wine. I did not opt for that. I went over to the Asian market that was Korean, so it's pretty much the same thing. Just use a light cooking wine, guys. Or sherry will work too, like a dry sherry. Just don't use the full 2 tablespoons. If you're gonna use dry sherry, I'd use like 1.5 tablespoons.
So first I open this glass bottle. And then I have 2 choices. I can do the skinnier one or the more circular. I feel like this one has less chance, at least 13% less for splashback. So I'm gonna do 2 of these. See how the 13% really kicked in there? And I'm gonna start with this glass vial next. I don't know how this one opens.
No, it doesn't open.
It doesn't open?
Nope, you just turn it.
Okay. So you take this tea kettle vial. Oh wow.
Is that really the first time you're seeing one of those?
Yeah. 1. You said 2 of these?
Yes, please.
See, and if you did 4 tablespoons of all these liquids, and you take that 13% times 4, half the chance of getting splashed on.
I'm not putting the math on the screen. No chance. No chance.
Go ahead, 1 tablespoon cornstarch.
You put this white powder in here. And as I'm scooping this brown sugar, I'm noticing that it starts to like chunk up. So the best method to approach this is the chisel method.
Used in Greek mythology, I heard.
Yes. So this also is a double-sided where you have 2 options. The heavier liquids, they have a diminishing return on the percentage because it's a lot safer.
It's a nice mix. Looks great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome, so we've got that meat marinated, we've got the sauce all made up on the side, it's looking perfect. I'm gonna triple up on the amount of broccoli. It's supposed to be 1 head of broccoli. I'm not sure why these broccoli are not exactly the biggest. So I'm gonna go ahead and just disconnect these from the crown, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these down to more bite-sized pieces. So in this case, it's gonna be halves. And so more importantly, let's talk about the other vegetables that we're gonna be doing. So we're gonna be doing 4 cloves of garlic, as well as 2 tablespoons of minced ginger. So you can mince them, or what I'm gonna opt to do, just so we can get as much oil from those as possible, is I'm actually gonna use a grater. And I'm gonna grate that down so that I can more accurately measure it, as well as extract all of that good ginger oil. Cool. So like we've done every other time before, I'm going to say it once again, always use a spoon whenever you're cleaning your ginger. It's just going to give you the ability to yield the most that you can, as well as getting all these nooks and crannies and whatnot.
Gingers are weak.
Yes, sir.
So that's why my measuring was off. That's not a cheese grater, that's a ginger grater. I got set up.
So the ginger seasoning I've been using at home is just like this, but like dried and like powdery.
Yeah, ginger powder, or ground ginger rather. Ginger powder is when they do what I'm doing and they de-skin it. They've got a machine that de-skins them, and then they make powder. When they make the actual, like the ground stuff, they just use the entire thing. It's kind of like onions and garlic powder and stuff. They'll use the skins, they use like everything, like the base of the root and everything. That's why like granulation is the best way to go in my opinion. Wow. Also, if you guys are doing this at home, be super, super careful. The mandolin is probably the #1, but grating things, like especially when it comes to grating something so small, something that can be slimy, know your limits, don't go crazy, it's not a race. Look at that. Look at that! Sweet! So it is that time, we've got everything, we've got the marinade, we've got the sauce, and we've got our vegetables all prepped out. It's time to get it all thrown together, literally. So I'm gonna turn this up to maximum heat. I'm gonna let this start heating up. After it becomes normal temp, which would be the hottest that it can go for this stove, I'm gonna go ahead and just add some avocado oil to a paper towel. I'm gonna re-season this because it's been sitting in the drawer for a couple days. And once that's done, I will show you how we're going to turn these simple ingredients into hopefully some really good beef and broccoli. A big point when you're doing this is to use high smoke point oil. I use avocado oil because I think that it works the best, and it's probably like the most inexpensive. Don't fact check on that, I have no idea. But it is a very commonly used one, and you will see I'm hitting the outside of this too.
For amateurs, why do you season your pot?
So it's gonna give it, once this comes up to heat, it's gonna give it the non-stick that we're looking for. It's gonna give us the ability to cook the entire thing, because if you see only a portion of this, the thick part of this wok is actually on the bottom, like conducting heat. So the best we can get, the best we can do is heat it as much as we can and hope for that non-stick. So we'll do that 2 or 3 more times as it comes up to temp, and then we'll be ready and we'll get that going. Awesome. So I've got some peanut oil right here that we're using for a different video. Don't worry, it's all clean and everything. I'm gonna use about a tablespoon of this. I'm just gonna go ahead and coat the bottom. Awesome. And I'm just gonna go direct it with my marinated beef. So this is probably the maximum amount of beef that I would do inside a pan this size. Otherwise, you're gonna gray the meat over and it's not gonna get a good sear on. So I've got that thrown in there. I'm gonna continue to move this around. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds on the first side so that we can get a nice sear going on one side. But then we're just gonna consistently be moving this. Once this is about halfway through, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the rest of the ingredients. But for now, let's clean up a little bit and give this a second to sear up. So look right here. This means that I didn't do it enough times, guys. That's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to build a fond on your wok. Nevertheless, it's going to deglaze when I add in our sauce, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. But that's part of why it's so important, because now look, it's all sticking to the pan. So now I'm going to have to just break it up with this, and then we can get it. Awesome. So I'm gonna come in here with my tablespoon of ginger and our tablespoon of garlic. There we go. Put those right into the side. I'm also gonna add my broccoli under the top of it. Now I'm gonna come in with the top with this. It's all of our sauce. So I'm gonna continue to stir this around. Everything's still on maximum heat. I'm just gonna reduce that sauce down until it's more of a syrupy consistency, and then we should be good to eat. I like mine with thicker pieces, so I left the pieces a little thicker. That does mean that it needs to sit on for a little bit longer because you do want to try to cook this off to a medium. So, no pink.
this?
I didn't give them serving spoons, so it's kind of a family
Wait,
style.
is it beef and broccoli?
Yes, it is.
Cheers. Are we rating it? What do you want us to do? No, it's really, really good. It's amazing.
So good. It just takes time to get through all that beef. Mark, did you make any of this?
Just measuring. You know it's good when everyone's like quietly eating it. Like that's how I always know, like when it's a good dinner because the kids are just eating.
Or you know that the guy who cooked it is behind the camera.
Or Tristan's watching us and we're like,
I feel like I'd spend like $35 at a restaurant and took someone to like something fancy, you know?
Mm-hmm. It has a really good flavor.
it does. It's amazing.
The way I would simplify the flavoring is like your taste buds, they're like raised. So imagine you had 617 years of water causing corrosion through your taste buds, and it all built up to this moment.
I'm extremely confused by that entire thing, but something about 600 years. It's really good. Like it has amazing flavor. I give it a 9.5. 9.5.
I'd definitely give it a 9 for sure. I've never had anything better.
I give it an 8. It's really good.
I would say a 7, but if it had chow mein, a 9.
What's the thing on the 600 years?
Well, if it would have been like 800 years if it was a 9.
What?
Okay, we're just as confused as you guys are with the 600 years, but luckily you don't have to wait 600 years to make this beef and broccoli for yourself at home. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Beyond Crazy. Love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.